And this is where Britain's top commentators speak out on controversial issues without the fear of the cancel culture sweeping the rest of the media. The dust still hasn't settled after ex-Newsnight presenter Emily Maitlis claimed last week that, quote, Tory cronyism has infected the heart of her former employer, the Brexit-bashing corporation, otherwise known as the BBC. Look.
Put this in the context of the BBC board, where another active agent of the Conservative Party, a former Downing Street spin doctor and former advisor to BBC rival GBNews, now sits.
The criticism comes from someone who has, of course, always been steadfastly impartial while being paid for by us at the Beeb. Not watch.
Nick Cummings broke the rules. The country can see that, and it shocked the government cannot. The longer ministers and Prime Minister tell us he worked within them, the more angry the response to this scandal is likely to be.
At what point do you say, actually, democracy is not as important as the future economy and stability and prosperity of the country right now?
It is consistent casual racism.
That's not casual racism
week
at all.
after week from
it's
you.
Not casual
That's what you
whatsoever.
trade into.
What Brexit vision will be on your manifesto then?
Well, we will decide what our manifesto position is, as we normally do.
Rod Little, is Emily Maitlis in cloud cuckoo land to suggest the BBC is pro-Tory?
Well, I think we ought to take our hats off to her, Dan, in that she has at least, perhaps through that brilliant journalistic career which she honed at the BBC, discovered a Tory in the BBC, which is presumably she means Robbie Gibb.
Yes, that's who she means.
We know about Newsnight. We know about the programme that she worked for. We know that there wasn't a single person on that programme who voted in favour of Brexit. We know that for the last 12 years, until very recently, and Newsnight has got very, very good just recently. It's actually a programme worth watching again. I know it clashes with you, Dan, so I probably shouldn't say that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm not going to say anything, Rod. Move swiftly along, OK?
It has got a lot better. But in the period from 2008 to 2022, its audience declined from 900,000 to 200,000. I mean, that is phenomenal. Never has there been a better example of the term go woke, go broke than with Newsnight. Because under its editor, Esme Wren, and with grandstanding presenters like Emily Maitlis and, what's his name, Goodall, and all the other lot there.
Lefty Lewis, we call him.
Lefty, yeah. But the entire production team, and I was told this when I came out of that interview you showed a clip of, that, you know, the production team had thought I shouldn't be allowed on the programme in the first place. And that was the reason that I was subjected to abuse, for which Emily Maitlis later had to apologise. Because this is the point. She knows, she must know. I don't think she's a particularly brilliant journalist. If you heard that dreadful intro to the Dominic Cummings stuff with that laboured not at the end of every sentence, you know, I'd be sacked if I tried anything like that, because it's just so hackneyed and dull. But she can't be so stupid as to think that the BBC hasn't got a distinct left-of-centre liberal bias. Now, you know, that to me is evident less in the news and current affairs, although it undoubtedly is there, but certainly in all the dramas, in the comedians they have on, in all the shows they have, in its ethos, in the way it tries to stop the last night of the proms going ahead with the traditional ending, in getting rid of people like Jeremy Clarkson, Andrew Neil. It does not like people who do not toe its ideologically very, very, very liberal line. And I think the problem for Emily Maitlis, and I'm glad she's got off to do a programme where she can indulge in her infantile and stunted worldview, because that's clearly what she's wanted to do for a very long time. I think her problem when she was at Newsnight is that she, and this is true of much of the BBC, was surrounded in this bubble, firstly of people who work at the BBC and all who all agree with her, and secondly on Twitter. She's got this big Twitter following who who would write in every week and say, oh, well done for standing up to the bigots, well done for standing up to those awful Tories. And she somehow seems to think that that's the world, which makes me think she is very, very stupid. And yeah, I've met her, and she doesn't seem in a person-to-person way particularly stupid. But the stuff she comes out with is genuinely deranged. It is genuinely mad. There seems to me it's incontestable that the BBC has a left-of-centre bias. It's not me saying that. It's a whole bunch of objective reports from objective institutions and unobjective institutions, including the BBC, have found that it's biased on a whole range of issues. It is also the view of the current Director General, Tim Davie, who, when he came in, said, yeah, there is a bit of a cultural bias here, and we've got to do something about it. And the very first thing he did was reverse the decision on the last night of the proms. Everybody says that. Everyone who has left the BBC and gone to work somewhere else, all the talent, the Jeremy Paxmans, the Clarksons, the Michael Burks, the John Sargents, all say, it's a left-of-centre bias. There is no doubt whatsoever in anyone's mind, anyone who looks at that corporation through neutral eyes, and it was the same when I was there, it's got a left-of-centre bias.
So what was she playing at then, Rod? What was she playing at? What was this about? Because, of course, she's speaking to a room of TV industry elites. All of the people in that room at the Edinburgh TV Festival, they make the decisions about what we watch on mainstream television.
Sure. Well, I think it's one of two things. I mean, I think there's a few things going on here. First, she desperately wished to get off her chest a number of complaints about the BBC, which had undoubtedly been festering, given the number of times that she was told to apologise. So she was told to apologise to me. She never did. And Newsnight never did. It was quite clear there was an internal BBC report which concluded that she had been grossly out of line in the way she interviewed me. Similarly, the stuff about Dominic Cummings, similarly, all those clips you showed, she kept being told that she would have to apologise. Never did. Never thinks she's doing the wrong thing. She has never, ever been in the wrong. And I think that she's been captured by the absolutism of the middle-class liberal left, which thinks it is impervious to criticism and can never do anything wrong. And I think that was part of what she was talking about at that festival. The other side of it, I think, is that maybe she is that dim. Maybe she is.
Yeah, perhaps she is, Rod. Rod Little. Thank you so much, Rod.